The human pilot named Leo stood at the edge of the royal balcony, watching the twin moons drift across the sky of the Varian capital. The evening air carried a faint metallic scent that was common on this world, a reminder of how different everything here was from Earth. Yet he never felt uneasy in this place. Instead, he felt something he never expected to feel in a distant empire built by another species. He felt calm. Below the balcony lay the city of Hallerus, a wide expanse of glowing architecture that seemed grown rather than built. Towers twisted upward like living vines. Bridges arched over canals filled with luminous water. The entire city shimmered as if the planet itself exhaled light. Leo had seen wonders across the galaxy as part of the Alliance defense fleet, but nothing compared to the sight before him. He was supposed to be preparing for the final diplomatic ceremony that would determine whether Earth would enter a long-term alliance with the Varian Empire. His role was simple: stand as a representative of human bravery, answer a few symbolic questions, and stand proud. But he was not focused on any of that now. His thoughts kept circling back to one person, Princess Laridot. He did not know when it started. Perhaps the first time she welcomed him with the quiet warmth that contrasted sharply with the reputation of her empire. Or when she asked about Earth with genuine curiosity, listening to his descriptions with bright eyes. Or when she approached him during training sessions and asked him to teach her the basics of human flight maneuvers. She had a grace he could never fully describe, and a voice that held a softness that somehow made even formal words sound gentle. He knew the thought was foolish. He knew it in the way a soldier knows an incoming impact before it hits. A human pilot and an alien princess were not supposed to entertain such ideas, but the truth clung to him like gravity. He cared for her, stronger than he ever intended, stronger than he could admit. He leaned on the railing and whispered the words he thought would vanish into the wind. I wish I could marry her. He did not expect an answer, but one came. Yes. Leo turned sharply and saw Princess Lyra standing behind him. She wore the ceremonial gown of her house, a flowing garment woven with luminous threads that captured the glow of the city. Her expression was calm, but her eyes carried a deep mix of emotion that he could not immediately read. He froze, then his heart hammered. He wondered if she heard him clearly. Maybe she misunderstood. Maybe she did not know the meaning in human language. But she stepped closer, and there was no confusion in her gaze. You said something true, she said, and I answered truthfully. Leo's throat felt dry. He tried to form words, but none came out with proper strength. She walked toward the railing and stood beside him, her presence close enough that he could feel the gentle warmth radiating from her. Leo, she said softly, do you believe your feelings are a burden to me? He swallowed hard. I should not have said it, he said. It was selfish. It was honest, she replied. And honesty is rare among those who approach the throne. He stared at her in disbelief. She placed a hand on the railing and looked over the glowing city. I have been raised to choose duty above desire, she said. Yet every time you stand beside me, I feel something I was never trained to resist. Leo felt his heartbeat slow and deepen. Her words wrapped around him with surprising intensity. He tried to speak again, but she raised her hand in a quiet gesture, asking him to let her finish. When you first arrived as a representative of your world, I believed you would be like the others, she said. Distant, cautious, focused only on obligations. I expected you to speak like a commander and remain formal at every moment. But instead, you spoke as a person. You laughed, you questioned, you became someone I wanted to understand. Leo finally found his voice. Lyra, he said softly, I never meant to place any pressure on you. Your path is greater than anything I can imagine. Your future is tied to this entire empire. I am just a pilot from a distant world. Just a pilot. she repeated with a small smile. You see yourself as small because you are taught to be humble. But humility is not weakness, Leo. Your people rise because they do not fear the enormity of the universe. You act even when the universe seems larger than you. That is why your species. Admiration. That is why I admire you. Leo turned toward her completely now. The glowing city lights reflected in her eyes, turning them into bright pools of color. But an alliance is still uncertain, she said. Many in our court watch you and judge your every word. Some fear that humans will shift the balance of the galaxy. Others fear the opposite, and if I tell them that I want you at my side, they may claim it is a reckless choice. Do you think that? Leo asked. She shook her head slowly. I think it would be the most honest choice I have ever made. Leo took a breath. It felt like the entire world paused with him. Lyra, he said, if you truly feel the same, I will stand with you. But I do not want you to sacrifice your duty for me. I am not sacrificing anything, she said. I am choosing. Her voice carried firm steadiness beneath its calm tone. She stepped closer and placed her hand over his. Her touch was gentle, yet strong enough to silence his doubts. You are part of my choice, she whispered. They stood that way for a quiet moment. The air seemed to soften around them. The distant hum of the city's energy flows sounded almost like music. But before emotions could settle fully, a faint tremor rippled through the balcony floor. Leo stiffened. Lyra's eyes narrowed. They felt the shift simultaneously. A warning alert echoed from the inner chamber. It was subtle, but unmistakable. That signal, Lyra said. It means an unauthorized vessel has entered the protected airspace. Leo reacted instantly. His instincts sharpened. Do you have defenses on standby? He asked. Only ceremonial guards at the palace perimeter, she said. Main fleet patrol is focused on the outer sectors today. Leo knew exactly why. Diplomacy celebrations always shifted military formation. An intruder might exploit that. We need to get inside, he said. Now, before they moved, a streak of red light cut across the sky above the palace. A sound like cracking air rolled across the balcony. Leo recognized it at once. A hostile probe mark. Lyra's pupils tightened. They dare to strike during a royal ceremony, she said. Leo grabbed her hand and pulled her toward the archway leading back inside. They are not here for your empire, he said. They are here for you. Her steps quickened, but she did not panic. Why would they come for me? She asked. Because if they remove the heir, they can destabilize the throne long enough to negotiate from. Strength, Leo answered. His mind ran through every strategy he had studied about Varian court politics. An internal rival faction or an external power seeking influence could benefit from chaos. He guided her down a corridor, lined with tall glass panels that displayed the history of the empire in etched patterns. The lights shifted from calm blue to urgent amber, indicating the palace was entering a defensive state. 2 guards met them halfway. Your Highness, one said, we must take you to the inner vault. But Lyra shook her head. You will escort Leo to the upper hangar, she said. He is to take one of the rapid intercept craft and disable the intruder. Your Highness, the guard hesitated. We cannot leave you unescorted. I will not hide while my people are threatened, she said. And he is the only one here who can intercept a hostile vessel before it reaches the palace. Leo immediately stepped forward. Lyra, I am not letting you face danger alone, he said. You will protect me by stopping them, she answered without raising her voice. Trust that I will remain safe. I need you in the sky, Leo. Her certainty left no room for debate. He nodded and turned to the guards. Lead the way, he said. They guided him through a side passage to the upper levels. As they ascended, the vibrations in the structure grew stronger. Something was landing on one of the external platforms. Leo rushed into the hangar. A sleek Varian interceptor hovered on its antigrav pad. Its design blended elegance with precision. It was nothing like human craft, yet its controls had been adapted during his stay for training sessions. He climbed inside and sealed the cockpit. The systems hummed around him. The canopy glowed, and the engine warmed with a rising resonance. He launched into the sky. The hostile vessel came into view, a dark angular shape built for speed and silent infiltration. Its energy signature indicated stealth mode and a disruptor payload capable of breaching palace shields. Leo angled the craft and accelerated. The wind of the alien sky roared past the hull. He activated the human targeting module he had helped adapt into the Varian interface. The crosshairs locked onto the intruder. He fired. A pulse of compressed energy struck the enemy vessel and destabilized its cloak. It shuddered and swerved. Leo pursued, weaving between glowing spires and hovering platforms. The enemy ship tried to break away toward the upper atmosphere. Leo shifted power to his aft thrusters and surged forward. He brought his interceptor above the hostile craft and dropped into a descending spiral. He fired again. This time the blast hit one of the propulsion units. The intruder spun out of control and crashed into a deserted landing deck outside the palace. Perimeter.Leo landed nearby and leaped out. Smoke rose from the wreck. He approached cautiously. A hatch blew open, and a figure emerged wearing dark armor. The intruder raised a weapon, but Leo moved faster. He kicked the weapon aside and pinned the attacker to the ground with one decisive motion. "Why target the princess?" Leo demanded. The intruder did not answer. Instead, he activated a small D.